Hey guys, welcome to the Natural Alpha podcast, where we talk about natural but powerful biofundamentals and hacks to increase your performance in training, sex, and behavior. And remember to subscribe, like, and share if you do in fact find this podcast or YouTube video helpful. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Let's get back to the show.
Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is sort of an important podcast in terms of people who aren't already taking care of themselves. It's more of a basic mindset thing. So let's get to it. The title is your who versus your what you are. I'm just going to break it down and why this is so crucial. So when you're born, let's start with the what you are. What you are is you're a human being. So what that is the physical component of being a Homo sapien mixed with, of course, the spiritual, mental, emotional aspect of whatever you want to call it, whether that's from God, whether that's from nurture, whatever. The what part of you depends mainly on 5 very simple things. Listen to the very first podcast. I tell you about the 5 fundamentals of what the Homo sapien, the human animal, needs to be healthy. It's very simple. It's proper nutrition, hydration, sleep, movement, stress management, right? So those things, there's different, like I said, everyone's situation is different. It's no one way to do it all, but to the degree that you can do those things more or less 90% of the time correctly and 10% of the time, I'll say incorrectly, but like everyone's got to live in this imperfect world that we do live in. When you go to a restaurant, not all restaurant is going to be importing organic food and making things with coconut oil and olive oil rather than vegetable oil or corn oil, right? Things are going to be shitty. They're going to taste good and you're going to have a good time, but that's life. So that's why it's the 90-10 rule. No one's perfect 100% of the time unless you're a saint or some sort of monk or something like that, right? So those are the very simple things that your what needs. And I would just like to also say that your who, you will be a better who if you treat your what better. There is a saying called as above, so below, and it's vice versa too. As below, so above. To the degree that you're treating yourself correctly and your body correctly. Remember, thinking is a biological process. How you figure out problems is a biological.
All right, if you're still watching or listening, then you must be enjoying the content. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's really going to help me help other guys just like you with my content and grow my channel. All right, guys, let's get back to the show.
Process. So if you're treating your biology, you're treating your what, let's just visualize it because we love everything from the neck down, right? People think, oh, that's a person looks healthy, whatever, or is healthy. It's a healthy body. And then everything here up is your mind, right? And the two are somehow separated. Bullshit. They're not. So everything you do, everything is a biological process, right? So as above, so below. So to the degree that you treat your what with respect through those 5 fundamentals, your who functions way better. You can problem solve way better. Your stress management, way better. How you deal with integrating your who and what and finding solutions to take care of both of them, way better. So keep that in mind. Now, a lot of what I hear, or the people I speak to, are parents. So a lot of parents have these obligations. Again, that's another title you have, of course. You're a parent, so therefore you have obligations and responsibilities to your child and your child's life. And if you're a good parent, then you spend your 2 precious resources, which is your time and your energy, on your children, right? So this is great. You should be able to do that, and you should do that. And the real, I suppose, mindset to this, and the real key is thinking of yourself as being a parent to yourself. Now, you're made up of anywhere between probably 6 and 8 trillion cells. Imagine every single cell in your body is your child. Could you imagine that you had 8 trillion children? Wow, that would be something, right? But they're all begging. They're all asking. They all want your time. They all want your energy, because they do in reality, right? So they're saying, Daddy, can we go exercise right now? Mommy, can we buy the organic food? Because guess what? That's actually happening, but you're ignoring them. You're ignoring those 8 trillion children that are you. And what you're doing is you're showing that your biological children that that's how you live your life. But let me know what you think. Have I simply oversimplified this? Does it put things into perspective? Does it make you just maybe think and say, Of course, everyone's situation is different. So I'm just talking about a baseline or a basic mindset to the degree, and it's up to, ultimately, free will is man's greatest gift. So it's actually up to you. You can concentrate more on the who you are and not on what you are, right? And live your life that way. That's great. But just know that you're most likely going to have low energy. You're going to be miserable. What else? You're never going to have the time and energy to exercise or eat well. People will become dependent on you, and then since you say yes all the time, they're probably not going to be that grateful that you're saying yes, because they just expect it from you. But if that's the life that you want to live, all the power to you, because that is freedom, and that is the number one thing that matters in living a human life, right? So if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do that. The point of this podcast is just to differentiate and to establish that your 2 greatest resources are time and energy. You have a who and you have a what, and it's up to you to decide how to balance those things, right? And there's always ways. I got people bringing their kids to the gym all the time, and it's great, and it actually creates a better atmosphere, and they're setting a great example for the children. Same goes for their diet at home, right? They make good stuff at home, and they eat it, and the kids eat it, or they eat like shit, they eat out all the time, and so do the kids, right? But it's whatever. Remember, free will. It's the greatest thing, right? So that's more the point. I'm not trying to judge and say one is better than the other, but I'm telling you, anytime you see a person that is in shape, has a smile on their face, and just sort of seems to live that type of lifestyle, it's because they're channeling their 2 greatest resources, which is their time and their energy, into their what, rather than they're not to the neglect of their who, but they're just balancing it. Okay, so think about that, because that really is the key, guys. Okay, so get in touch with yourselves, get in touch with what you are. There's always a way to balance it. Maybe here's one, because the greatest thing I hear is parents taking care of the children, and that's it, right? It's the time and energy is always towards that. I don't know. You're at a soccer game. Every time the ref blows the whistle, drop and do 20 push-ups. And then invite other parents to do the same. Hey, I'm trying to do this, and you say, I'm trying to do this because I don't have time to go to a gym and exercise and do this, so I'm going to take care of myself. Want to join me? Right? Or make it competitive. Every time the opposing team scores a goal on your kid's team, all the parents have to drop and do 50 push-ups or crunches or air squats or something like that, right? And then vice versa. There's always a way, guys. There's always a way. You just have to want to. And I'll get into another podcast about the real reason why people don't like moving their bodies and they don't like exercise, and it's because of something called an energy crisis. And when you're in an energy crisis, your consciousness always formulates a formula as to why you can't. But that's another podcast. Guys, thanks for listening. I hope it was informative, but leave me a comment and let me know what you want to hear or what you think about the who versus what topic, right? Okay, guys, stay strong, and we'll see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks again for watching or listening, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And go ahead and share the video. Share it with a friend if you think that they will find the content useful. Again, like the video and leave a comment and let me know what you think. And also leave a comment and let me know what you want to hear about, because I want to talk about what you guys want to hear about. All right, guys, till next time, stay strong.